So, I have a confession to make. I don't think I'm qualified to be reviewing the Dehancer plugin. I'm just not technical enough to be able to run through all the settings and explain how the plugin works. I have a feeling that that's the case for a lot of other YouTubers, or maybe I suck, I don't know. But I love Dehancer, and if you decide to buy it, I absolutely believe that you will love it too. Something about the way it reproduces the look of film feels realistic and accurate, almost right out of the gate, almost. And by almost, I mean it takes a little tweaking to get it perfect, but you can get it to feel exactly like film. So my experience with film is primarily with Kodak Portra film stock in still photography, which is available in Dehancer. And I recognize it when I apply it to my footage, so I'm already sold right there. So when you first apply the plugin, it gives you a green tint with the default film stock, but it doesn't take much tweaking to really make it shine. And then if you turn on the film print, it takes some tweaking to get it to feel right again. But the list of controls is enormous. In fact, it feels pretty overwhelming at first. It just takes a little practice and you get the hang of it pretty quickly though. You get a huge selection of film stocks to play with and the most recognizable film prints. Again, I'm not technically well versed enough to be able to name film stocks or film prints and know their characteristics off the top of my head, but I swear I recognize them from movies I've watched and photos I've taken. To me, that's impressive because it speaks to the understanding that the people at Dehancer had about the plugin that they were building. Then there's things about film that I didn't know anything about, like color head or film breath, so I ended up having to refer to the manual. And by the way, that's something that I would recommend anyone getting Dehancer do. Read the manual. You don't have to, but it helps so much. At the beginning of every section, the manual goes over how that particular film development technique works, so you know what you're trying to emulate, and why the software behaves the way it does, which is incredibly helpful. And look, I know you didn't click on this video to learn about the manual, but I had to mention it because it's a meaningful part of how you get to enjoy Dehancer. The manual is written by people who clearly understand film, and they're trying to teach it to you. So yeah, read the damn manual. Anyway, so the list of features is gigantic, but it's fully customizable. You want to use just a specific film stock, you can do that. You want to just use film damage or bloom or halation, you can do that. And you can exaggerate the look as hard as you want, or you can back it off and have it be more subtle. You can make things look like the Zapruder film, or you can make things look cinematic. And I can't tell you how many times I've needed to make footage look older than it actually is at the company where I work. And our go-to has been to download stock footage or film damage or scratches or overscan or whatever, and then we lay it on top of the footage we're working with and we just composite it together. But it never looks right. It never feels right. Even DaVinci Resolve's film grain and bloom and halation don't feel right to me. Not compared to Dehancer anyway. Dehancer has all of those tools built in and it's customizable. It's f***ing amazing. It's really hard to pick at. Like, for real, we have film now for our digital cameras. Who the f*** is complaining about this? Oh, it's slow when you have some things turned on? Well, yeah, I mean, it requires processing power. Resolve's own noise reduction and a bunch of other features also slow things to a crawl. Some features just require more power. I don't count that as a negative. And if it doesn't look like film to you, that's no fault of Dehancer's. You're probably just doing something wrong. You have to know what kind of look you're after, and you might struggle to manage the settings to get that look, but whatever look you have in mind, you can absolutely get it, and I promise you it's really not that hard to get. Okay, this is a side note, but they also have something called Dehancer Online, where you can upload photos and emulate film stocks, and that looks fantastic. It kind of works like Instagram presets, except the presets are not a complete pile of dog shit. They're actually really, really good, and the looks are customizable. Dehancer, look, I appreciate the opportunity to review your product, and maybe you wanted some constructive criticism, but I'm sorry, I have no feedback. It's perfect. Well, okay, maybe fix the green tint thing when you first apply the plugin, or update the manual to help me understand why that should be the default. But otherwise, f*** me. Dehancer is the way to go for film emulation. If you want something to look like film, seriously, stop watching this video and go buy Dehancer right now. And you can get 10% off if you use the promo code RBFilms, which, yeah, gives me some money. So if you don't want to give me money, fine. There's other YouTubers. I don't give a shit. Go give it to them. The point is, just go buy it. You're gonna love it. All right, bye.